Welcome to another edition of Falcons WebTV. Once again, your host, Damon Markowitz, along with Falcons President and General Manager Bruce Landon. And Bruce, another week, more topics?
A lot of topics, from what I understand.
Well, there'll be quite a few as the Facebook chats continue to be strong. A lot of topics out there and a lot of news in the area as well that we'll get to. But once again, we come to you from a remote spot not outside the Mass Mutual Center. We've taken it on the road again as we come to you from the Student Prince and Fort restaurant in downtown Springfield, right on Fort Street, the corner of Fort Street and Main Street. Headed towards the north end of Springfield. And Bruce, I know this is a long-time sponsor. They celebrated 75 years last year, as well as the American Hockey League celebrating 75 years. So this is a spot that pretty much has seen every Springfield hockey team imaginable.
No question about it. Great sponsors, great food, great location, and so well known by so many people. I mean, the Student Prince, the Fort, is known by people throughout North America, basically, and it's really a place that draws a lot of the scouts when they come to town, and hockey people are familiar with the Fort, as it's affectionately known, the Student Prince, and Barbara and Rudy have just been wonderful to allow us to come in here this morning, but also great supporters of hockey here in Springfield.
Yeah, we come to you as you come through the main door. There's a spot where you can go off to the right, and we're in that bar area, a nice little back room where you can also sit down and have some food. Also a full restaurant. They have a nice back room as well for some private parties that we've taken part in as well. Just great sponsor, and I know, and you may remember this. I know I don't. The Calder Cup may have come through these doors over the years as well.
Oh, there's no doubt. The Student Prince has been here for so long. It's a famous German restaurant, and I know it's a place where a lot of the players over the years, going way back into the Indian days and the Kings days, and used to come here quite frequently. So I'm sure the Calder Cup has found its way in here over one of the years of our Calder Cup winners.
And we're sitting at the bar today, but there's no beverages going yet, just coffee right now. Yeah.
I got a little Kahlua in my coffee, but we won't tell anybody that.
I bet you do. Well, please join or check out the Fort, the Student Prince and Fort restaurant, downtown Springfield. Great spot, great food, great atmosphere. If you ever come down to a Falcons game or before or after, check that out. Great supporters of us, allowing us to come in here today and record our show. And we'll get into some topics here. And the first topic we got to touch upon today, being Friday when we record this, I want to touch upon what happened here a couple days ago throughout the Pioneer Valley, but something that hit here downtown. Obviously, the tornado that ran through Springfield. Just your reactions to everything that happened.
Well,
here.
It's amazing how things happen, Damon. You and I had been talking just recently when you were flying out to St. Louis, how we've been very fortunate here in our area that we don't seem to get hit by really bad disasters, earthquakes or tornadoes or hurricanes, the odd hurricane. And then before we basically got the words out of our mouth, it seemed like a tornado hit here. And it's much more devastating than I really thought now that sort of the dust has settled, so to speak, and we've had a chance to see aerial views on TV of the destruction and damage, not just in the south end of Springfield, which we can see right from our offices, as you know, but through other parts of the Pioneer Valley and in Brimfield and Munson and parts of West Springfield. It's tragic, and people have lost their lives. There's a tremendous amount of damage, and it's going to take a long time for the cleanup and the rescue people to do their job. But it's amazing to watch people pull together. The number of volunteers, the National Guard, all the people that are chipping in. The governor declaring state of emergency. So it's devastating, and hopefully we can recover, and I know we will.
And I know we had a person on our staff, Stephen Hanjack, who handles our Twitter account. Got to give kudos to Stephen, because he made some trips around after the storm there shortly Wednesday night, and just started out as just a little mission of taking some photos just to kind of see what was going on, and ended up really helping out a lot of media outlets to kind of get the word out there as far as what happened here downtown.
Well, both you and Stephen, with what you did with the social media, with our Facebook, and Stephen with Twitter, we were getting coverage. It was the Weather Channel and CNN and other major media outlets using the work you guys did to show the people across the country the damage that was done here, because it was almost real time. The storm had really basically just hit, and we were in our offices here in the Mass Mutual Center, or at the Mass Mutual Center at the time. So you're able to capture that, and as a result of that, and I guess it shows you again the strength of the social media, because the number of viewings and hits and everything else just exploded, and I was starting to get calls from people literally all around the country that were calling to see if A, personally my family was fine, and B, how our staff and our building and they picked it all up on our Facebook and our website and those kind of things. So great job by you guys, and it's unfortunate you have to report things like this, but we were on top of it because we were literally on top of it.
Yeah, right in the middle of it, and like you said too, it was a nice way. Cell phones, right after the storm, it was tough to use cell phones, and landlines were busy, so it was a way just to let everyone know that the staff, and we had significant others that were trying to get a hold of staff members. Luckily, with the Facebook and the Twitters, everyone was okay, and fortunately for us, obviously everyone is okay and now just recovering. But brings us into the recovery stage here, and we talked here this morning before we went on camera as far as some of the things that we're looking to do here in the coming weeks, because now that the storm has hit, the damage is there. You're starting to see how significant it is. Just what are some of the plans here moving forward that we can do as an organization to help out?
Well, as you know, we want to be a part of helping out here, and what we've decided to do is, as we're doing this interview, I'm waiting for a call from the American Red Cross or from Matt Hollander, who's the general manager of Global Spectrum and runs our building, who is involved on the board with the Red Cross, to find out what it is exactly we can do. We've discussed some ideas internally about tomorrow just setting up barbecues outside our building and cooking food for all of the people that have been affected, or the rescue people, firemen, police, those kind of things. But we want direction from the Red Cross. We've also thought of maybe using just outside our offices, which is so convenient on Falcons Way, as a drop-off location for clothing, food, or again, whatever it is the Red Cross wants. Our staff will be there tomorrow. So we will be doing something tomorrow. Hopefully in the next hour we're going to find out exactly what that is, and then again through the Facebook and Twitter and our website and email blasts, we'll reach out to our fans and the community as quickly as we can to let people know what we want to do. But we want to help out, and I think the important thing right now, there's so many people who want to help out, so we want to make sure we're taking our direction from the Red Cross, who's really coordinating the volunteer efforts here in the city.
Yeah. David Markowitz along with Bruce Landon, another edition of Falcons Web TV, as we come to you from the Fort and Student Prince and Fort restaurant here in downtown Springfield, the corner of Fort Street and Main Street, going towards the north end, down by the Peter Pan bus terminal. It's a great spot. Been here 75 years, been here for every season of Springfield hockey. Great longtime supporters, so feel free to check them out anytime. Great atmosphere if you want to come in for a great bite to eat. Diet soda, beer, you name it, they've got it all. So it's a great spot here, and I'm sure it's a spot that you've brought so many clients over the years.
I've been here quite often, and it is a great location, and the German beer, the Spaten, and they have some great theme nights here as well. So it's a great location, and everybody in Springfield is familiar with it.
And getting into some of the topics now that we had on Facebook leading up to Wednesday, because it seems like since Wednesday afternoon, we had 2 different weeks here. It came off a great Memorial Day holiday. We had Screech and the Memorial Day Parade out in Ludlow, and also we kicked off on Tuesday a season ticket campaign, the Flight to 1500, that we sent out Tuesday afternoon. And just quickly describe what that's all about and how that impacts the organization moving forward.
Well, I thought, we all thought internally that we needed some kind of organized campaign. And it's not like we haven't been selling season tickets ever since back in February, basically in March, when we sort of set our prices and started to work. But you need something to build off of. And again, we get into the summer months where you're sort of out of sight, out of mind. So we're doing a little media, both on TV and radio, and some email blasts and some other things to let people know we have launched this campaign. And we're setting our goals at a number that I think is attainable. It's not a number that we can't reach if we do our work, and certainly we need the support of the community. But our staff are working hard, and we just really want to launch a program to let people know what our goals were. And reaching that 1,500 number would just put us in a number that's comparable to some of the similar markets in the league. It's not by any stretch of the imagination a high number compared to what some cities do in our league, but it's a number here in Springfield with what we do and such a good job in groups and other promotional events, that if we could get that base up to that number, around that number, we'd feel very confident going into next year and years beyond, if we can sustain that number, that we're not going to have any issues. And Charlie Pompey and I have spoken at length about the campaign. He supports it 100%, as he does pretty much everything we're doing here. And I have to say, Charlie's been fantastic of putting ideas in front of us to run with, and talking through different things. So he's supportive, and we're just putting a campaign out there to let people know. And there's a chance for people to win some prizes, and then a grand prize with a trip to Columbus, which we'll award on our opening night.